Some of the segments of this program are dangerous if attempted by non-professionals. Do not try to do them yourself.
Yeah, sure. Public television, real artistic, real artsy, craftsy stuff, edifying the public, right? Yeah, that's what we thought. I don't think so. See, Teller and I are a couple of sensationalist circus schlock hacks. We were asked to do a special for public television. We were real excited. We said we're going to rise to the occasion. We're going to do some real art stuff, right? So it was great. I was going to open with a poetry reading, and Teller, who doesn't speak in the show, was going to do a mime piece called The Birth of a Baby Dove in the Ghetto. It's beautiful stuff, really nice, pretty, very carefully done stuff. And they said, no, these are the people at public TV, right? They say, no, that stuff's too boring. And if we want to do a show, we have to open with something more exciting. More exciting. The people that do masterpiece theater in the evening of the symphony want us to be more exciting. So we've compromised. We have here a straitjacket. I'd like you to stand up, please, in time for this straitjacket. There's 4 buckles right across the back. Patty Kunkel is the producer of this show. We came to her with this beautiful, beautiful script with a poetry reading at the beginning, and she said, no, it wouldn't hold their attention. I'm saying, this is what they do Mr. Rogers on this network. They don't have to hold attention. And she says, no, we got to do something else. Just get all the buckles there. We got to do something else. And Cordelia Stone, she's our director. She said she wanted something a little bit more exciting. That's where they put it. They don't put it cheap. Put it through the loop over there, and then pull these 2 arms together, okay? The more you can hurt them, the more pledged dollars you'll get for public TV. Okay? Tighten up real good, okay? Really good, okay? You just let me help you here. Just really tug. There you go. Just put that in there. Right over here. I couldn't believe it. See, we watched Masterpiece Theater. We start Night of the Symphony. Let me do this one, Teller, because a dog shouldn't have to. Yeah, get this one right out of the way. We watched these things. We thought the kind of stuff they wanted was like poetry reading, and they said no. They wanted something a little bit more razzle-dazzle and exciting, so we came up with this. And it is, watch it, Teller, it is a bit of a compromise. Is that okay? And I just want you to know that all this stuff, the gravity boots, the whole rigging, the pulleys, the thing coming across to my chair, that's public TV's idea. That's not mine. I am going to open with a poetry reading, but see, public TV, when they think of magic, they think of some greasy guy in a tux with a lot of birds or some aging hippie shoving women into boxes, and they don't seem to understand that there are other kinds of magic. I'm referring, of course, to the magic of poetry, and indeed all the fine arts. And we are going to open our show with a poetry reading, and I think that even though you might have been expecting something a bit more sensational, that I read this poem well enough that you will hang on my every word, and when I jump from the seat I'm seated in to take my final bow, I am sure you'll be suitably impressed. Ernest Lawrence Thayer. Not a very famous name, but that man wrote perhaps the most famous American poem. He was a journalist in San Francisco, and this poem first appeared in the San Francisco Examiner Sunday morning, June 3rd, 1888. The poem is entitled Casey at the Bat. It is subtitled A Ballad of the Republic, sung in the year 1888. And I shall be reading Casey at the Bat for you this evening in exactly 2 minutes and 16 seconds, after which I will jump to my feet and take my final bow. Casey at the Bat. The outlook wasn't brilliant for the Mudville Nine that day. The score stood 4-2 with but 1 inning left to play. So when Cooney died at first and Burroughs did the same, a sickly silence fell upon the patrons of the game. A straggling few got up to go in deep despair. The rest clung to that hope which springs eternal in the human breast. For they thought if only Casey could get a whack at that, they'd put even money now with Casey at the bat. But Flynn preceded Casey, as did also Jimmy Blake. The former was a Lulu, and the latter was a cake. So on that stricken multitude, grim melancholy sat, for there seemed but little chance of Casey getting to the bat. But Flynn let drive a single to the wonderment of all, and Blake, the much despised, tore the cover off that ball. And when the dust had lifted and men saw what had occurred, there was Jimmy, safe at second. Old Flynn was hugging third. Then from 5,000 throats or more, there rose a lusty yell. It rumbled in the valley, it rattled in the dell, it knocked upon the mountain and then recoiled across the flat. for Casey. Mighty Casey was advancing to the bat. There was ease in Casey's manner as he stepped into his place. There was pride in Casey's bearing and a smile on Casey's face. And when responding to the cheers, he lightly doffed his hat. No stranger in the crowd could doubt it was Casey at the bat. 1,000 eyes were on him as he rubbed his hands with dirt. 4,000 tongues applauded when he wiped him on his shirt. Then while the writhing pitcher ground the ball into his hip, defiance gleamed in Casey's eye, a sneer to Casey's lip. And now the leather covered sphere comes hurtling through the air, and Casey stood there watching it in haughty grandeur there. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball in heated sped. Ain't my style, said Casey. Struck one, the umpire said. For the benches black with people, there went up a muffled roar, like the beating of the storm waves on a stern and distant shore. Kill him! Kill the umpire! Shouted someone in the stand, and it's likely they'd have killed him. And now Casey raised his hand. With a smile of Christian charity, great Casey's vision shone. He stilled the rising tumult. He made the game go on. He signaled to the pitcher, and once more the spheroid flow. But Casey still ignored it, and the umpire said, strike two. Frog on the man, thousand the eagle, it's off. Still look Casey in the audience was off. So he should have goes almost straight. Through the Casey middle of the ball right again. Here's like a little between 8 pounds. This goal by the barrel play. Now patrol's ball, let us go. Now the air shadow above first game low. So the zero lands 105 minutes somewhere, some hearts light. Some middle eye, get someone to shout. Is the drive by the mighty Casey has struck out.
Live from the heart of Hollywood, the show business capital of the world, it's Penn and Teller.
Go public?
Thank you. I'm so glad. Hey, I'm so glad we got some poetry lovers here. We are Penn and Teller. We are a couple of very eccentric guys who have learned how to do a few cool things. Now, the first thing we like to do for you is a card trick. And card tricks, as far as I can see, do have a problem because card tricks are, it seems to me, intrinsically very wimpy. Now, Teller's come up with a card trick that he claims is not wimpy, and he's going to do that for you now. Now, please keep in mind that he does stay silent in the show, so as he goes in, just kind of take his directions in kind of a meme way. Sorry. What was the... Was that okay, sir? Did you?
Fine.
Did you reach in and actually pick one out?
I have one, yeah.
Yeah, I thought... Cordelia?
Yeah.
It looked to me on that take like the guy knew that he was having a card forced on him.
And the trick is going just fine. Just keep going, please.
Okay, I just that you were actually forced a card. Did that look fishy to you at all?
No.
Did it look like you? See, because it looked to me. I think I don't know what camera got.
It was forced, yeah.
It was forced on you.
Well, yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah. It wasn't a free selection. See, let's just take. We'll just match. What's it, an ace? What are you forcing an ace for? We'll just stop. We'll just match this later and cut this out. Actually, I want to point something out. Now, this you weren't going to say anything about the force, were you? No, yeah, see, that's not because this guy is stupid. It's because you're saying, these poor guys, it's their first special. You know, why should I spill the beans on the force, you know? You're saying this is really not a time for morality. I mean, they're not killing children after all, right? So actually do be more of a jerk and just really pick one out that I don't want you to take.
Okay.
That's good. Much more of a jerk. Great. Now, we're going to turn your back, and we don't look at the monitor or anything. Would you show that card to the camera and to the people, please? And when you're all done showing, you just cover it up, and keep in mind that on television, time expands, so snap it up. Okay? You all set?
Okay.
Okay, now go right back here, and we'll just go on with that. I'm sorry about that, Teller and Cordelia, but No, see this camera, the red light, Teller? That camera is on, and they just saw your pass. I don't know if you people here saw it. Did you see it? Yeah, you saw it. It was right into this camera. He actually already put the card back on top. And the way he did that, excuse me, Teller, take that card back. That is your card, isn't it, right on top? See, what he did was he cut the deck like that. You put the card back in, put it back in, and he put the card back like that. Now, that looks okay, but if you were looking, excuse me here, if you were looking, can I just get, see that? He's got a little finger right in there, and it still looks normal from that angle. Little fingers right in there, it's called the break. And then when he turned toward the camera, and you saw it, right, my man, you were watching, he did this right here, and he brought the card right to the top. See, Teller, and they saw that right in the camera. What you want to do is you want to cut the card into the deck and then give him a little shuffle, okay? Does that look about right to you? Now, you got to use your head, man. You know that no matter how nice I am to you, this here's my partner, and if he wants that card on top, we're going to put that card on top, okay? So I'd like you to actually take the deck yourself. Would you do that? Yeah. And actually maybe look at him face up, anything you want, and actually lose the card in the deck, okay? Just whatever you need to do. I pawned the card out of the deck. I'm showing off. There's cameras on. We haven't done television much. Actually, do take the card back, lose it in the deck. I'm clean. Just don't hurt the crimp. It's okay, Teller. Without a force, man, we're covered. Look at this. Put it right in the middle. This is going to blow them away at home. It's going to be great, okay? Then just give it back to me. You want to shuffle them first? Or? Okay, okay.
That's fine.
That's fine. Now, we're not going to have any cuts or any edits. We're just going to go cool right from here. Okay, so I'm just going to go right up there. You with me, camera? Good. Cameraman's right with me here. There's no edits or nothing here. This is the same deck you handled, right? We didn't mess with it at all. Okay, Teller, go ahead. A little directorial note here, Teller. If you're trying to look real butch with a buck knife, you shouldn't be so prissy when you lay them out. Good. Yeah, that's well done. Good. Why don't you pick those up and we'll go. Now, what is the hook on this, Teller? You just look down at the cards and you see the one you want and slam them. It seems like that's awfully easy to... Good. Teller's putting a blindfold on, I would bet. Now, the thing about magicians in blindfolds, those blindfolds hang right off their nose like that, and they can see 2 or 3 feet in front of them with it. Good. Takes a hint. Let me just move these out of the way so you don't know where to... There we go. Just mess them around nicely. Go ahead. Knock them down. Pick it up. Boom. You got it. You got it. Pick it up. Is that your card? Yeah! That's fine. We'll just do an edit. Just keep going. We'll just match up and do an edit. Let me chuck this in for you so it matches the last shot. Good. Let me just move this around a little bit. And then we'll take it, Cordelia, we'll take it from me, just moving the cards around. Okay, go ahead. And pick it up, pick it up. Is that your card? The 7 of clubs, sir?
No.
Oh, that's fine. We can just keep going. We'll match it from right here, okay? Is that your card, sir? The 8 of diamonds. Is that your card? Yeah, this is the kind of stuff Teller and I stand for. You see, you take a standard piece of wimpy magic and you add just a little bit of class and you can get this kind of trick right here. Sir, you were such a good sport that, geez, I'd like you to have this, okay? Thanks enough, bud. Looks simple, doesn't it? A man lighting a cigarette. But when that man is my partner Teller, the greatest living sleight of hand artist in the world today, even the simplest activity may be accomplished by virtuosic dexterity. Weren't there a few things you took for granted when watching that? Let's see it again. Teller, did he really throw the cigarette down? Is he really crushing it out? Are both his hands really empty? Does he really need to clear his throat? Is he really reaching for a real pack of cigarettes? Is he really pulling that cigarette out of the pack? Is he really crumpling the pack? Is he really transferring it from one hand to the other? And is he really throwing it down? Is he now really looking for a lighter? Is he really finding a real lighter? Is he really bringing it up to his mouth? Is he really lighting that cigarette? And is that the same cigarette lit that he had unlit just a moment ago? I don't think so. Let's watch that again. Come with me, Teller. All magic can be broken down into 7 basic moves. The palm. The unlit cigarette and the pencil are palmed. Switch. The lit cigarette is switched for the pencil. Simulation. Teller simulates putting out a cigarette by stepping on a pencil. Misdirection. Teller clears his throat to misdirect from the hiding of the cigarette. Load. Teller loads the cigarette behind the simulated cigarette case. Steal. Teller steals the lit cigarette from its hiding place. Ditch. The unlit cigarette is ditched in Teller's coat pocket. Now let's see how Teller used those 7 sleights to create the illusion of reality. There's our palm, our switch, our simulation, our steal, misdirection, our ditch, simulation, another load,
more simulation,